by SABC Sport.
For the love of the game.
The Talking Point with Cathy Mohlahlana. Weekdays, 9 a.m. till midday. The Friday Wind Down. Kick off your weekend the right way. SAFM 104 to 107 nationwide. Leading the conversation.
Cathy, hey, wasibuyisele ebusheni bethu ndanifika eDurban ngonyaka kudlala le ngoma. Uthebe Nkosi yami. Wasikhumbuza kodwa madoda wavuselela into eseyiphelelwa. Kodwa yini ubuyisele expiry dates. Umuntu usuka kude.
It's a Friday, baby!
It's a throwback, but it's not a throwback because as you listen to the music, yes, if you've grown up in a time where it was hitting the charts, it takes you back to a particular moment. But the reality is that these could be tracks that were released just yesterday.
Music is timeless.
They still feel so fresh. They still feel so new. They feel like, well, actually, this should still be playing. This should still be on the radio.
Well, they are. I mean, it just shows I did well.
Tele, good morning.
Thanks for having me. Good morning to you.
Thank you so much for coming to studio.
It's a pleasure.
Can you believe it? 30 years worth of a story to tell in the music industry.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
A long minute.
I know, right?
A 3-decade long minute.
Yeah, and you know what, I'm so glad that I could still be doing this after 30 years. You know, you never think you could sustain it this long. You know, and like I'm grateful every day that I'm still doing what I love, even after 30 years. So Groover's prayer like penned out.
When you think about, as you're talking about the sustainability of a career over the course of what you have done in 30 years, what would you say for you, now that you've been thinking and actively reflecting on 30 years, how would you describe what the last 30 years of music has been?
It has evolved a lot, yet stayed the same. The music that, like the popular music in South Africa. Yeah. I mean, Lebo Brenda, and then it was Kwaito, and then it was Kom, now it's piano. It just, there's a tweak here and there. Yeah. But it's, you know, intrinsically South African. You can hear that South African feel about the music. So it has changed, but not that much. What has changed is the way people consume music right now. That's what's different. But the sound is just, it evolves, you know.
How would you say that you were able to capture that South African sound? Because one listens to your music and it is truly South African music, not only because it's Kwaito, but it's just truly South African.
Well, when I came in, house music was big, and I was a DJ and I was DJing house music, you know, but I would chant stuff over the mic as I was DJing, you know. And that time after we're coming out, Jonina, you know, Boom Shaka, you know. Okay. And people were catching on to that. I was like, you know, here's a gap, you know. So I just recorded those things for where I was gonna DJ.
Nice the lyrics.
Yeah, it was just chance for where I was gonna DJ, and then it evolved into, and that was my first album.
Oh, that's so fascinating. Yeah. So even what ended up as the lyrics in inverted commas on the songs, it was just chance that
the first album was just done for that club where I was DJ, and it became an album. Oskido came to where I was playing, and then he heard it, and he was like, "Whoa, who is this?" I was like, "No, it's me." Then he said, no, we need to release this.
So quite organic then how it evolved.
Yes.
Our Friday wind down guest is Tebe, and we're going to continue with the throwback, but with the not so throwback, because as you hear, he's still around, still producing music.
South Africa and India will produce hot performances as they both want to triumph during their third T20 contest. The visitors want victory to ensure a joyful tour, but hosts Mzansi refuse to fold their arms. What a summer without cricket! Catch the heated third T20 international action between South Africa and India on Wednesday, 13 November at 4:30 p.m. live on SABC3 and 4 p.m. on Radio 2000. With reports on various SABC radio stations. Also available at your fingertips on SABC Plus. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport. For the love of the game.
Our role must be to seek to build a better world.
SAFM invites you to our annual public lecture delivered by former Minister Dr. Naledi Pandor. The theme for the lecture is 30 Years of South African Freedom, Reimagining South Africa's Democracy, Achievements challenges, and the road ahead in protecting our democratic gains. The lecture will take place on the 21st of November 2024 at the Birchwood Hotel and Conference Center. Secure your seat by emailing us at info@safm.co.za.
Today, I'm part of seeking to build a better South Africa.
SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. Celebrating our music heritage right here on the Friday Wind Down.
Hey, good day, Cathy. Finally, you got my legend there, Tebe Rinyora. I'm in Durban. I don't know what is the meaning of Rinyora. I just want to tell that gentleman there, Tebe himself, that how he was, during my youth days, how big he was around Durban. Mr. Boot himself. So now, I just want to find out from Tebe, because there are some things that he always put in his lyrics, that he put in his songs, that we end up not knowing what's the story. Mr. Goodman, in one of the songs you talk about Goodman. Who was Goodman? And then I want to also find out Schizo. What happened to Schizo, your twin brother? If you remember the smash hit you had with him, Tasa, it was big also. So, my man, we're so happy. Thank you for the memories, Tebe.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Tebe.
Sure. Right. Goodman was a friend, a guy we knew in Durban. He has since passed away. He was a big groovist.
Okay.
Those who know him,
In the streets somewhere.
In the streets of Durban, yeah. And then Schizo has moved back. He's from Botswana. So he has since moved back to Botswana. He's based in Cabs. So he's doing his thing from there now. Yeah.
Tebe, what would you say have been, I want you to talk me through the highs of your career. 30 years. What have been the highs? The moments that even today when you look back at and you're like, wow, I can't believe that happened.
There's a couple, but one that's fresh in my mind. I think it was 2 years ago. We did a Kalawa 25 at the DSTV Delicious Festival. That was wow. That was like overwhelming. I think after so many years, you get goosebumps while you're on stage. Like after the performance, I went and just sat in the car just to bring
Take
myself,
it all in.
Yeah. I was like, what? The love was just too much,
Does that surprise you because you think, well, there are so many other people in the space today, younger people, and so with time, naturally there's an expectation that, okay, we're the older guys now, you are the grootmans now.
Here's the thing, we grew up in an era pre-social media. So the support and the love that we would measure it like live. You never knew how much or how many people liked
how
you.
big you were.
Yeah, until you see them and the way they react, you're like, wow. So it's still that thing. I mean, I'm on social media, but I never measure things about likes and whatnot, So when you see like 20,000 people going mad for you, like, wow.
And you haven't sort of slowed down. You are still gigging every weekend. You still have a booked and busy schedule.
Yeah, well, no one has complained. So, if it ain't broke, then don't try to fix it. But I mean, there's what my belief is, the fans that I've had through the years, they still exist. And there's some new ones because I collaborate with the young artists, who DJ Somebody, may his soul rest in peace, Bukabza, Mama, those are the ones just who keep me relevant to this space now. But I still have my core fans, so for this past 8 years, and they need entertaining.
When you manage the dynamic between yourself as somebody who's been in the industry and these young people and all of you making music together, what kind of dynamic do you find plays itself out between you guys? And are you finding that they're keeping you on your feet, or, because they're younger, so the pace at which they do things is probably different.
We learn from each other.
Yeah.
I learn a lot from the way they do things now. It's different, They, like you're saying, the pace is faster and whatever they're doing, but I bring in my 2 cents worth of knowledge, from past in the years. But the reason they call me is because they need me to add me onto that. They don't have a new idea of me. Do you understand? That's how I fit into their songs.
So you're still a chief groovist?
I'm not chief. I'm still a groovist, but I've taken off my crown.
Who have you given your crown to?
The young ones. I mean, I love to have a party, a good time now and then, but engine I said
Tebe is our Friday wind down guest, and this is something that I also want to ask about, because Tebe, you are originally from
Limpopo.
You're from my hometown. I know you're from Polokwane.
Yes.
So Mopedi, Chiki, you are releasing songs in isiZulu, in isiXhosa, even though sometimes it sounds like it's Zupedi, but it's still really good. How did you manage to start learning all of these other languages?
When you come to Jozi, everyone speaks Zulu or Xhosa or whatever. I didn't know the difference there, So the people I was hanging with at the time, never was Xhosa. So it's the first Nguni language that I learned, And there was no one doing songs Xhosa. So I did one and it worked, and I was like, okay, here's
I'm gonna try another one.
The gap, So yeah, it just happened. No particular reason, but I did one and whatever, and it's like, okay, we're going in this direction. So I'd mix Sesotho, what I thought gives Zulu, and then turned out.
How could get a Zupedi somewhere in there?
But yeah.
Tebe is our Friday wind down guest for today. We're going to bring you more of his story and, of course, what you love the most, which is the music.
News headlines at 11:30 on SAFM. I am Ondela Mbana, and a very good morning. SADC has called for an extraordinary summit on Saturday next week of this month following escalating violence in Mozambique. More security officers have been deployed to the Lebombo border post between South Africa and Mozambique, where operations remain suspended. Botswana President Advocate Duma Boko has officially been sworn in. Boko is the country's 6th president after his party, the Umbrella of Democratic Change, defeated the governing Botswana Democratic Party in recent elections. And some residents of Mangaung in Bloemfontein have vowed to prevent foreign-owned tuck shops from operating in their area. A full update follows at the top of the hour.
SAFM 104 to 107 nationwide. RB Leipzig believe every football moment counts, and they want nothing but a win. Meanwhile, Borussia Mönchengladbach target 3 points as they embark on a journey to escape from the bottom half. This is the Bundesliga. Football as it's meant to be. Catch the nail-biting encounter between RB Leipzig and Borussia Mönchengladbach on Saturday, 9 November at 7:30 p.m. Live everywhere for everyone. Always on SABC Plus. Also available on sabcsport.com. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
For the love of the game.
Imagine the endless possibilities with Powerball and Powerball Plus at 131 million rand in jackpots this Friday. You heard right. Play Powerball for an estimated 46 million rand jackpot and Powerball Plus for the life-changing 85 million rand guaranteed jackpot today. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old or play responsibly. E2 is a proud operator of the National Lottery.
The Friday Wind Down. Kick off your weekend the right way.
Matemba spell ukhethe no Matemba wonse jive abahlanyayo awudaka no Matemba spell ukhethe no Matemba wonse jive abakwinyayo awujive abakwinyayo awudaka no Matemba spell ukhethe no Matemba wonse jive ababhemayo awudaka no Matemba spell ukhethe no Matemba wonse jive abaphuzayo
Sure, I was Cathy. What are you doing to us now? You know, bringing the legend. I mean, wow, on a Friday. No, you are having a legend there, Cathy. Look, I mean, Tebe, sure. It's you want to take us back to the life that was Cathy. We want to bear, but I mean, here in this jam, it all comes back, you know. Yeah, no, it's you are with the legend there. You are I call him a bad guy.
You can't bury your past.
You must embrace it.
It made you who you are.
Good morning, Cathy, and good morning, Tebe. What a legend. Mr. Lenyora himself, Tebe, so ever consistent and relevant in the music industry. Very, very disciplined, Kwaito artist ever South Africa's ever produced. Very proud of Brateve. I love him. I love his music very much. May God bless him.
Good morning, Cathy. How are you? I hope you are well. Uplomene Khodman nam lapo. Tebe Lenyora. Khodman yaga. Orenge da. Kisimpiwe mo Ivory Park mo. You know, I mean, the way you've been so consistent and relevant, I still can't believe it, you know. And I was having this conversation Limachita the other day, and I was telling them that if ever you wanted to fill up a stadium, a 90,000 capacity stadium, you will fill it up and the tickets will be sold out. Quick. That's how relevant you are. So I want to ask you, Khodman Uti, was it ever difficult for you to break into the industry? Industry. Difficult na itara.
No, it wasn't difficult. Like I say, it happened by fluke, by mistake, you know. So I guess I was lucky, and even to grow in the industry, because we were the first ones. I mean, I was one of the first 5 Kwaito artists to start Kwaito. So we were growing with it. So it wasn't difficult for me to break into the industry.
But coming in, as you're saying, Tabo, maybe that may have been a fluke, but to 30 years on, still have people dancing to your music in this way. That's hard work. That's not a fluke.
No, I'm saying getting into the industry was a fluke, but then I started working on it. Yeah, no, it's hard work and consistency. Like I say, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Like, don't sway with the wind when who are but stick to what you know and like do it at the best of your ability and represent it.
Kwaito in many ways is a reflection of South African life, and just listening to that song No Matemba that we just came out of, it's about the groove culture of our country. To be able to take that and encapsulate it in a song, is it the ear? Is it watching life around you? Is it because the reason why it resonates is because people, they can see No Matemba. Everybody has a picture of No Matemba in their minds.
I'm quite a conversationalist. Like, I like to have conversations with friends and whatever and engage. So how I would write my songs is, if we talk about something and I think this is relatable, like, for example, right now everyone is talking about Mcholo, but if you take maybe your instance or your friend's situation that's relatable, and just take that and make that into a song. There's people out there who are gonna say, you know what? Yes, yeah. So that's how I used to write my songs, about things I see, things we talk about. Some songs are jokes, you know. You just take a joke and make it into a song, but that joke is relatable, you know. So that's how I used to do it.
It also influences our dance culture in this country. We've got a big dance culture as a country. And you sort of see it shifting now with piano, and how, young people are sort of using that, or you can TikTok, Instagram, etc., etc. But you said something that I thought was very important earlier, that what you see on social media doesn't always translate into people filling up stadiums, or that you're going to have people come to your shows.
Yeah.
So the industry today and the hype, you'll have like 30 seconds of a song that goes viral on social media. But ultimately, you still have an artist at the back end who has a team that has to eat.
Yeah.
And they're not always seeing the financial benefit of that.
Yeah, that's the difference from then and now. And us then, we used to sell hard copies. We knew like exactly how much you're making in real time. I mean, now streams, they try to explain to me, they're explaining, and I still don't quite get how streams work and how the revenue is supposed to, like, basically my understanding of it, like you have to have 1 million streams to get like 1,000 rands or something like that, I don't no, it doesn't make sense.
And you've got 120 songs on iTunes.
Yes.
So if somebody should be making lots of money off streaming platforms and their music being widely available, it should be somebody like you.
Yeah, but you have to stream like millions of streams and whatnot. Right now, we knew if you sold millions of copies,
you're done.
The money is in the millions.
Yes, yes.
So now it's a bit tricky. But like with social media, I mean, there's this thing that's happening right now, and we joke about it. Like if you do a party or you do an event, all the people that are going to respond and say, I'll be there, you get even your best friends, but hey, my bra, I won't miss it. Those are the ones who are not going to come. So it's never a reflection of what's going on.
How are you dealing with that dynamic? How is it influencing sort of how you do things? Because on the one hand, you can't ignore it because it's what the world has evolved into. But at the same time, as you've said, there are all of these other challenges around it that you can't be fully focused on it alone.
Social media is an excellent marketing tool to get the word out there. But the reach out, like the response, I don't dwell much on that. I'm just glad that I've got certain number of followers. If I put it out there, like they've seen what I'm saying. You don't have to respond. I mean, some other things I see, I'm like, oh, okay, but I don't actually physically respond to it, or I just press a like or something. But doesn't mean I'm gonna go there or whatever, So I know when you put it out there, Bible.
Yeah.
So it's just up to me to just keep it, just pump it out there, and then not dwell too much on the response. That's why even when people are trolling and whatever, it's like
you're not interested.
I don't even know who you are. Like,
so it feels like the core, the fundamentals of how you've done music over the last 30 years very much remains intact.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, that's what I know. The new ways, yes, I've embraced them, whatever. But you take the old with the new, and then you just mix them, but try and make it work. But my thinking and how I view the world is not based on social media. It's based on how I view it and the surroundings that I'm in.
I'm going to read some of the messages from our listeners. By the way, so many people really loving the fact that we have you on the show today. One listener, this is from Muloko Muloto, who is usually out in the streets, running the streets as a reporter. He says, you're hosting the true legend, Tebe Linyora. The first time I saw Tebe perform was in 1996. I was still a youngster during a Youth Day commemoration at the then Petersburg Athletics Stadium, now old Peter Mokaba Stadium, and the good memories are still vivid. Thank you so much for having him on. Katu, you are in Midrand. I understand you also want to have your 2 minutes of fame. You want to shout out to the original groovist.
Tebe Linyora, Katu Maestro. How are you, sir?
Hey, Katu, how's it?
I'm all right.
All right, I know
Katu. This man, I was a DJ at VetsTech in Doornfontein, I think from 1994. And we were the first people to actually play Kwaito because there was no YFM then, and Metro at the time, they didn't play Kwaito. We had vinyls coming in. I remember Oskido was still called Oscar the Big O. He brought them in. He said, this is Terry, this is Traffic Cop and whatever. And we used to host the parties at Reg Farm and all these parties with Kalawa. It's such a, it was an awesome time, you know, and you know, a lot of people still know me from those days, but now they see me in glasses as an author and preaching, and they say, hey man, yo, if people can change, anybody can change, I can also change if you can change.
Katu, so you are exposing yourself. You are exposing yourself.
I mean, he said Reg Farm, that's all he had to say.
You've got the Snoop Dogg of the Kwaito industries. Music is classic. You put it on, whether it came out in 96 or 98, it's still a banger. And Tebe, all the best, and, you know, God continue to bless you, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Sure, go ahead, Tebe, go ahead.
Yeah, funny enough, he mentioned Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg has been one of my, you know, what do they call it? I've been looking up to him ever since I've started. From the bad lyrics to evolving into a family man and changing the lyrics. So now being the way he reinvents himself and just keeps himself relevant, I follow his model.
I'm so glad that you brought up the issue of the lyrics, but I want to just, I'm coming back to it in a second. Katu, are you still on the line?
Yes, ma'am. I'm still here.
So when did you hang up then? You know your title of DJ.
I didn't quite hang it up. I just evolved, you know. I still, whenever there's a party or a little family gathering, I still hook it up and play music. And in what year was it? I forgot. But I did a little single, and I did a song called Butahofela. And I remember Tebe was launching an album in Midrand, if you remember Tebe. I forgot the name of the place. And it was his show. And he said, you know what, Kat, because I was shooting a video, he said, you know what, use my audience, use my crowd, use everything for your music video. That's also the type of kind of person that he is.
Wow, what a story. Katu, thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother. Katu Maestro.
Thanks, Katu. Sure. So Tebe, I'm glad you brought up the issue of the lyrics.
Yeah.
We've come a long way with the lyrics, eh?
Oh, yes, we have. Yes, we have.
It used to get very vulgar.
It wasn't vulgar. It was, you guys are vulgar. I was just...
we are vulgar.
You are vulgar. I was just all my songs were suggestive. You know, but...
suggestive of what?
Like I'd hint something, then you guys will finish it up. But, you know, like I'm saying, it was that era of Snoop Dogg, with Dr. Dre and whatever. And as I was DJing, you know, those songs and the lyrics that were on there, and then the response that they got, I'm like, I want this response, you know. So we decided to do it, but you know, in Venek, it's not quite the same.
So you basically gave the people what they wanted.
Oh, definitely.
Okay,
yeah.
But now you've evolved. Because I see, is this your son in studio?
Yes.
So how old are you? Come, tell us. Come say hi. Come say hi to the country. Morning. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good. What's your name?
Oh, Mahlatsi.
Mahlatsi. Yeah. So do you listen to your dad's music?
Nah, not really. But
he knows it.
Yeah, I don't really.
Yeah, don't worry. It's always your kids that will do this to you. So you've got no idea what we're talking about.
No, I do. Like I know his songs. I just Don't play them like.
He's a hip hop guy.
Oh, he's a hip hop guy. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming to studio.
Yeah.
But the evolution of life, then, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, one day he's going to be going through those records when he's a bit older.
Yeah, but I think it's more me as a person more than having kids. Or I mean, if those lyrics paid their school fees, I'd still be singing those lyrics now. It's got nothing to do with it. But it's just, as you grow up, you have a certain level of ditlhong and
yes.
Oh my gosh, did I say that? Was that me? Like, I mean, the people who are posting themselves on social media now, looking all naked and stuff.
Yes.
In a couple of years, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, did I do that?
Was
like,
it me?
Yeah.
I hear you, Tebe. Yeah. I hear you. The evolution of Tebe. He's our Friday wind down guest. So many voice notes. Lots of your calls as well. We'll try and see how much
perform
of
them as they are.
Well, it's not really much of a change, is it? You're just keeping it PC for the radio, aren't you? We're going to take a quick break. Come back with more of Tebe after this.
India planned to cause an upset in Mzansi's own backyard. However, the Proteas are all about hitting the ground running at St. George's Oval to demonstrate what the Protea fire looks like. What a summer without cricket! Catch the spectacular second T20 international match between South Africa and India on Sunday 10 November at 3:30 p.m. live on SABC3 and 4 p.m. on Radio 2000. With reports on various SABC radio stations. Also available at your fingertips on SABC Plus. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
For the love of the game.
Our role must be to seek to build a better world.
SAFM invites you to our annual public lecture delivered by former Minister Dr. Naledi Pandor. The theme for the lecture is 30 Years of South African Freedom. Reimagining South Africa's democracy, achievements, challenges, and the road ahead in protecting our democratic gains. The lecture will take place on the 21st of November 2024 at the Birchwood Hotel and Conference Center. Secure your seat by emailing us at info@safm.co.za.
Today, I'm part of seeking to build a better South Africa.
SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. Celebrating our music heritage right here on the Friday Wind Down.
I thought I was not going to put this one voice note, but that guy from Midrand made me to come and say, yeah, man, actually, yeah, man, I just wanted to listen. And this song, Lenyora, came into my mind. And now, the word Lenyora is now part of the Kasi lingo, you know. Hey, whatever fit to Khale, trend set. Kalek! No way. I know. Galebuaga Miziki, my lifetime, Money. Hey, Tadaso, Anonymous, Pretoria.
Musuqalaza madoda bheka indaba zakho awumusuqalaza abantwana bheka indaba zakho ungawa ayibo. I would say, mfethu, you're still pushing it. You are still relevant. You're still on it, Ikwaito, and you're reviving it. Thank you so much.
Good morning, Cathy. Good morning, Tebe. Yes, Anna, what are you guys doing? My husband and I are in Namibia, and he's tuned into SAFM. I'm busy preparing myself and dancing on the other side. I mean, come on now. Tebe, you are so amazing. I mean, you've been around for quite some time, and, you know, you have been consistent. You have been Utebe. I mean, we used to bump around in Madrid. You wouldn't know me by now. But I just want to say thank you so much, you know, for holding up and keeping it real, you know, for us, the old school people. I think you are awesome. I think you're amazing. Hey, Cathy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yay! And my husband is a pastor at that time, and I'm busy dancing there. Oh, Bruno Matemba, yes. Thank you so much for such an amazing show. Tebe, blessings and blessings, you know, for you. And whatever it is that you touch moving forward may turn to gold and continue, you know, to be you, because there's no one else but Tebe. Chisa.
Hi,
Hi, Kathy. This is Mudiri from Cape Town. Here you have Tebe today in the studio. I remember when I was a student many years ago, as a campus student at a university, Tebe came to a festival. He performed at a festival on our campus. And when he came on the stage, Dipina Zahai, I'm sorry to say that in Sesotho, but I can express myself well if I do. Onaro Hakana, Dipina Zahai, I could not handle it. And I remember saying to my friends, let's go guys, I can't take this music. Tebe Waro Hakana. And my friends were like, it's just a song, you know, but yeah, people were dancing and having a good time.
Tebe, so much love for you, hey?
And I appreciate it so much. Like my heart is full right now. You know, every time you get to, like I'm saying, when you hear real time appreciation, you know, it just makes you think, oh wow, I did, or I'm still doing something good for people to feel like this about me, and it gives me encouragement. It keeps me going.
And we haven't even played a fraction of it's only been a fraction of the voice notes that have come in for you. KB, you're in Soweto. Good morning.
Good morning, Katie. Good morning to Tebe.
Ita.
So, my brother. Yeah. I remember you, Tebe. Maybe we still remember the festival that you did in Japan, in Mexico, Natalie. We were going with Mawili, with all the guys. I think Zambia that day was young. I think in Tokyo it was 97 or 98.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thanks for staying as a supporter for all these years. You know, you are the people that, you know, keep me alive and make me do what I do with the passion that I do, because it's for people like you who started with me from Komatomon, and I'm not going to desert you guys.
Yes. And what I like, your music is timeless, but your music will always be there. Because, and let me ask you, I would like to ask you a question.
Yeah.
How did you make it? Because I think very few musicians or quite artists that can mix Medisipe, Disipana, Sizulu, and Sikosa in a very nice way in the music. And your music, the way you mix it, how did your talent?
I can speak 7 official languages. That's how I do it.
I trust you, South Africa.
Definitely.
Absolutely, KB. Thank you so much for that contribution. So, Tebe, 30 years down, 30 years more to go.
30 years more to go. I mean, like, my heroes, Mom Miriam Makeva, Brahu, I mean, they did it well into their 70s. And I just turned 50 last year, so I'm still young.
What is your hope for South African music, especially your genre, Kwaito, that you have been a founding father of?
Look, I mean, what I can just hope for Kwaito is just for it to stay alive as it is. You know, because, I mean, like you said, it's been 30 years. There's only so much we could do for it, you know? But we can keep it alive by taking it to people with performances and whatever, and collaborating with the young artists. That's how we'll keep the Kwaito alive. But for South African music, you know, for it to grow by leaps and bounds the way it has grown now, like it's international now.
Is there still on your performance list?
Oh, all the songs that you played. Like, I only play like one new song on my set list, because I tried adding on new songs, but people say, no,
leave that stuff alone.
So, you know.
Tebe, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh no, I had so much fun.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for inviting me, Cathy.
It's only a pleasure. We wish you all of the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the good music.
Yeah, and I'm busy documenting all this. I'm shooting a docu about all the crazy stories that happened, the performance and whatever. And yeah, I'll let you know when it comes out.
Please do. We'll be more than happy to bring you back on the show. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Cathy.
All right. It's Friday. I'm not saying it's a manglubula dibutu, but you know, it's Friday. Okay, switch on Teva's mic.
Friday.
Tebe is saying Tamano Bula di Butu ki Friday. We'll be back with you again Monday between 9 and midday. Have a lovely weekend. It's the Friday wind down.
SAFM 104 to 107 nationwide.
O'clock on Friday, the 8th of November 2024. Very warm welcome to Updated Noon here on SAFM. Leading the conversation, I'm Sakina Kamwendo. Coming up in the next hour.
People are dying today, and we need action to be taken today, and we need Mozambique to be called out today. Our message is really that the authorities need to respect people's right to freely assemble. This is a right they have. They need to stop shooting at people and using excessive force against them.
Amnesty International has called on the African Union and SADC to immediately intervene in the political unrest currently ongoing in Maputo in Mozambique. And
ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of Botswana and Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces has just inspected the Guard of Honor mounted by members of the Botswana Defense Force. Thank you, Mr. President.
Well, there's jubilation and excitement in Gaborone as Advocate Duma Boko is officially sworn in as the 6th president of Botswana. Coming up in sport,
violence between football fans in Amsterdam, Proteas and the Springboks in action this weekend.
John Kiriga, more details in the second half. Well, please share your views with us. 41391 is the SMS line number. You'll be charged R1.50 per SMS. You can still write to us via X at SABC News_radio or send us a WhatsApp voice note on 0826923909. Well, these and more stories coming up on this Friday edition of Updated Noon. First, though, here's the latest news with Ondela Mbana. Thank you, Sakina. Top stories. SADC calls for emergency meeting